Hello, hello. Welcome to Leap Taken. Here at Leap Taken, I talk about all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. And I'm Mika. Welcome to my witchy review. Okay, I got a couple things I want to talk about. Um, this book, we're going to get into this. I have some definitive thoughts about this book. It's a lot of spells and meditations in this book and rituals. I'm just letting you know. I want to get into this. I want to give it my full attention. Um, there we go. Then I went to Five Below and I picked up some witchy items. I haven't opened this up. So we're going to open it up together, test those out. And then I got my new Grimoire Society magazine. And I want to talk about this too because it's interesting. What is happening? Yeah, I want to talk about this because there's something to be said about this, and I want to get into it. Okay, and I'm looking over because I have a bigger screen so I can see comments or things like that because I struggle here. Let's talk about the book first. 111 magic spells, rituals, and meditations to reclaim your power. This book is written by Awen Dawn. Awen. Hi, the Princess Diaries. So this is the person who wrote the book. I think it's important for you to know who wrote the book. As I've been on this journey of reading books on witchcraft and things like that, it's important to know who wrote that book, the author, where they come from, and all that sort of stuff. So the author is a pagan high priestess who has been working with spiritual seekers for nearly 10 years. She has a BS in integrative healthcare from MSU Denver, an MFA in creative writing from City University of London, and is a Reiki 2 attuned. The author of Paganism for Prisoners and Paganism on Parole. Awen is also a member of the Society of Authors and the Royal Society of Literature. So if you're interested in her, you can visit her at Awen. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Dawn.com. I'm sorry, ma'am, if I'm messing up your name, but that's her name. I don't know. So I knew that doorbell was going to ring. I have somebody coming to resolve internet. Better not be. Oh my God, please don't tell me they're going to cut off my internet. I just realized it's actually for my alarm. Anyway, they better not. Well, I guess this live will get cut short. Anyway, what I want to talk about this book is that I'm going to tell you overall, the spells were worthy. It's worth getting the book because you can work with these spells. 111 spells in a book of this size, that in meditations and rituals, is a huge, it's a lot to sit through because she's not giving you just like, oh, do this, that, boom, bam, boom. No, it's very well thought out. And I do think this is something like, for instance, okay, I love this. I'm going to jump right in. There is a spell, birthday party ritual for the inner child. Like, it's not your common, oh, here's a money spell. Here's this. This gets deep. She has it broken up. Like, this is the section for the archetypes of self. This is not something that is surface level. It's deep, y'all. It's not a long read. And I read through all the spells in the meditations because I wanted to get a good idea of what she was saying. What was she actually talking about? So, those incense I can smell them. It's like a peppery scent. I'm like, something's getting to me. It's more than one set from Five Below. I'm gonna have to get into that. But anyway, so where I'm gonna just jump into is chapter 6, where she starts off with like a shadow work ritual, shadow work meditation, the child archetype meditation, and then of course that birthday party ritual for the inner child. I want to tell you a little bit about this. She says here, you may have discovered while visiting with your child self, because there's a meditation, that there was something you always hoped that you never got. This doesn't have to be something deep or related to trauma. Ma'am, thank you, because I don't want that. Uh, what are you saying? Oh, hello, hello. I'm sorry. I saw the name. I was like, what are you trying to tell me? Okay. Um, this doesn't have to be something deep or related to trauma, though it can be. Perhaps there was a doll you wish for 1 year or a video game. In this ritual, you're going to give your younger self a birthday party. Now, maybe you don't have space for the pony you wanted, but you could gift yourself with a horseback ride. Spend some time considering how to appease this aspect of yourself, then continue on. This is a fun ritual to perform with others if you are all on the same page, also important. You can gather friends and take turns singing happy birthday to one another. This ritual could be done on your own as well. It may feel silly at first, but it will feel amazing later. Besides, silly should be encouraged way more than it is. I agree. So she's telling you to get a cake, seven birthday candles, the gift you've chosen, a picture of yourself as a child, or where you look happy at best, if you have that. Optional but encouraged, decorations and music. Preparation, decorate your home and your cake, wrap your gift. Put on music, dance. Have the party part of your party. Place the picture of the child you someplace in the middle of the action. And she goes on, open the gift, say some words from the heart about how this is the gift your child self always wanted, and how by using this gift, you and your child self are going to build a better, deeper bond. When you enjoy the gift, take the picture of your child self with you so that you both can enjoy it. So I want to talk about this one. This stood out to me. It's bigger than just getting a, like for me personally, I always wanted a dollhouse. And I eventually got it, but I wanted the Barbie. Okay, let's get into it. I wanted the Barbie dream house specifically, not the townhouse. Not to be confused with that. The Barbie dream house mansion. Don't get confused with what you see in a Barbie movie with the elevator. And I don't want that. That was cute. I didn't want her to be a city girl. I wanted her to be an estate girl. So I wanted the dream mansion. My mom said she wouldn't spend over $200 for a piece of plastic. She did give me an actual antique dollhouse. But we're not going to talk about that. The point is, I wanted that. In my heart of hearts, I still want it. But the thing is, I want that one. I haven't seen the mansion. I don't want the one with the elevator, like the townhouse thing. It was like a 3-story thing. I don't want that flimsy crap. I want the mansion of when I was a little kid. That is something that I would do for myself. It's not coming from a place of trauma, but that is actually linked to something more for me. I love, homes. I grew up in a place where it didn't look like that. And I did not enjoy that. I've always been somebody who's been into interior design, exterior design. Even when I was younger, I wanted to go to open houses. When I say younger, 8, 9 years old, my mom would get the paper. We didn't do internet at the stage. So we get the paper and I would see the listings and I would say, we should go look at this. And I'd ask her about her money and what she could afford. My mother never answered these questions. I just want to be very clear. I continue to ask them. I never got answers, but I did ask. I've ritualized my birthday. I celebrate the entire month. Exactly. But if there's, especially for some people, like I know some people who birthdays weren't really, I wouldn't say celebrated. They weren't really, not in the way that we did. My mother, I mean, she was doing the best she can. Like she did give me a dollhouse. She didn't give me that one that year. But I have grown up with some people who even some family, whether it was for religious reasons, they were Jehovah's Witness or they were something, it was something. I got some family members, they was kind of, figuring out their way. So they were this, sometimes they were Muslim, sometimes they were that. Whatever it was, they didn't get Christmas gifts and or celebrate a lot of birthdays. So when I think of people like that, everybody's adults now. And I'm like, well, this is perfect for someone like that. All those times you did want something. I mean, I would say even do this with Christmas. For Christmas, I have always bought myself a gift and wrapped it and opened it up and act surprised with everybody else on Christmas morning. Part of that was because for even before I was remarried, because I was married first, to my kid's dad, and then we separated. We weren't together for a very long time, and then I eventually got married again. But that second time around, they didn't. They bought gifts on their own at times, but especially as the marriage went on, I bought everybody's Christmas gift. I bought theirs, everybody's relatives. I'm the one that bought all the gifts. And I bought what I wanted for myself, and I would wrap it up. And on Christmas morning, you know what the surprise was? He was surprised because he'd be like, "Oh, you got that for me. See, Merry Christmas." So it was still a surprise. The only true surprise gifts I would get is whenever my kids made or they gave me stuff like that. But no, I always give myself gifts. Even on my birthday, in a way, I still give myself a gift, even if it's a gift of service or something like that. But I do something for myself. Y'all, it's silly to demand that whether it's your boyfriend, your husband, your friends, or your kids be you're happy. They have to create happy for you. I think we're a little too dependent on other people to make our happy, and you're setting yourself up for disappointment because no one can be responsible for keeping you happy and knowing oh, if they love me, they would know exactly what I want. I shouldn't have to tell them. Yes, you do. First of all, we're always evolving. When you first met somebody, you were into this thing, and now you're into this other thing, or you still like that, but not at the degree you did when you first started, talk. You know what I mean? Like you've gotten turned on to something new. Well, if they really knew me, then they would know I made this switch. That's too much. Like, look, people got jobs, other responsibilities. Don't do that. Tell people what you want. If they're not willing or able to get it for yourself. Do for yourself, and you'll be happy. You'll have happier birthday, so you don't have to pull a picture and do this freaking ritual and feel some kind of way. If you can do something about it now, do it now. I love this ritual because it emphasizes not focusing on the past, but reclaiming it and making it something special now. And even if you feel silly, the author acknowledged, so what? Do it anyway. Everything's made up. You have to remember this is all made up. The concept of birthdays, the concept of gift giving. This is all made up. None of this shit is like something that's always existed. Some person and then some groups of people, and then it just kept happening. But tradition, listen, I had that Cancer moon. I understand traditions. I'm very sentimental about a lot of things, but I'm also a realist in a way where I understand everything is made up. So you can just make up some stuff too. You don't have to, don't get caught up in what things should be or what they're supposed to be. You can save yourself a lot of heartache that way. There's right after that, the primal self archetype ritual. Listen to what you need for this. Mud in a bowl or face paint. Drum, tambourine, castanet, or other instrument of simple construction. This is the time you can get the oatmeal thing and make your own instrument like you did when you were little. Some music with a strong drum beat. An image of Danu, so that's a deity, or another deity that seems appropriate. Incense, food and drink for everyone to share, assuming this is a group thing. Optional, a bonfire and buckets of water at hand for fire safety. But anyway, that's just some of the, I'm not going to go through everything, but I am letting you know, this is actually it's basically you're going to be putting mud or, on your face and just kind of being a little wild. But, within parameters, there's a point to it. You're not just doing it. The shapeshifter archetype ritual. Like, please understand, she's not just talking. I said it already, like, oh, how to get more money and all that sort of stuff. I mean, this is like empowering self. And I think that's important as opposed to just thinking about, okay, let's get into that. One of my life lessons have been to constantly do spells for hundreds here or even thousands, to get a bill paid, there is a leap that has to take place in order for you to get out of that being your constant reality and to get to the space of just knowing my bills are going to be paid. You know, the people you see on YouTube videos, maybe on Instagram, and they're like, you just have to believe, and you just have to know, you have to manifest. And you're looking at them like, that's cute, but like, if I don't have this money by Friday, these people gonna cut my stuff off. Like, trust me, I understand that. It is a leap, a quantum leap, maybe. Maybe use a quantum leap spell to jump into a different reality. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. Honor your inner child as best as you can. Treat yourself. Treat yourself today. But oh, happy birthday to you. But yeah, quantum leap into that. Now there's some steps in between, but look into that to shift your reality, because what you need is you need a major shift to get out of there. Oh, no problem. Happy birthday. But a major shift in your life. It's going to take some work. And a lot of the work is your mindset, because you're going to have to be open up to maybe responsibilities, but the possibilities that how you've been doing things or your outlook needs to completely change. For instance, I know someone, they have definitive ideas about having, like, what it will take for them to live, like, money wise from a job, and then to invite like a partner into their life. They have very definitive ideas about that. And it hasn't been till recently that they've started sort of evolving their ideas on that. If you have in your mind that you have to get a job, it has to be 6 figures so you can live over in that area, and you can meet the person you really want to be with, and they have to have a 6-figure job at minimum, and they have to be willing to live over in that area, and they have to have a certain level of education, and you've got to do this, and they can't have this, and da 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 da. And it's like, okay, so ultimately, do you want a checklist, or what do you really want? Do you want financial stability? Do you want partnership? I'm not even gonna get into the love thing. Do you want a partnership with someone where you both have something at stake and you've invested together? And yes, there is companionship and hopefully love, but a partnership is what you're talking about, right? If that's the case, one, you're gonna have to get out of the idea that, and this is just an example, the idea that it's going to happen where you are, and they're going to meet this checklist, and that you're going to get a 6-figure job. And that's where you're going to all live. I mean, I'm not saying you can't have goals and dreams and want to have those things, but sometimes it doesn't fit. So financial security might just mean reducing your overhead, moving down south. I'm not telling you move down south, I'm just saying. But that, it might mean that for some people. Moving down south, it might mean moving across the country to a place where you don't know anybody. And, you know, because you don't know anybody, you're kind of forced to put yourself out there a little bit more than you normally would where you're from. So you're going to start meeting a different type of people that you never would have met before. So also you could meet someone, not about just the romantic piece, but you can meet somebody that can get you onto, maybe you never thought about being a business owner, or maybe you never thought about working, you know, in a small company, like a mom and pop situation. But because the overhead is so small, you know, where you're living, you could afford to do this, and it's not, you know, taxing. You're not making 6 figures, but you can do all the things that you'd like to do. And you maybe have another source of income coming in. Oh, and because you're putting yourself out there so much, and you're now in this other role, and you're meeting different people, by the way, you meet this person, so this other partner who maybe they make a lot more than you. So the financial security dynamic is still covered either way, or maybe they're making the same as you. But if you're stuck on this checklist of this person, I have to get a job making 6 figures, I have to do that, but you're saying you want financial security. I would caution being that granular about what you're wanting to manifest, because you're not giving the universe room to make that thing happen. This was actually quantum leaping for me. Once I came to the realization I needed to have access. One, I had to redefine financial stability and security. What does that mean? Does that mean having a lot of money sitting in an account or multiple accounts, investment accounts? Because if we're just talking savings accounts, okay. Does that mean a salary? Salaries could be taken away from you. It could be no fault. You don't get fired. They could just lay everybody off. Okay, yeah, you had these investment accounts, you had all this, but what does that matter if you don't have a job anymore, right? The savings is great until you don't have a job, then you got to use it. So for me, I adopted this idea of always having access to resources with ease, readily available. I've used that type of wording in my spells, with ease. Money comes to me with ease, resources. So if I want to travel, there's always a way. Prime example, I just bought some plane tickets yesterday, and the resources was there for cheaper airline tickets. The funds that I needed was there to buy two tickets, actually. It was there, and I'll be going, and it's a done deal. I'm taking that same approach with anything I'm doing. It's more for me about the resources. Resources can be money, it could be credit, it could be gifts, it could be, it just happened, a gift card or something like that. I focus on being resource rich, more than anything. And with that, stability comes, because the more I have found that I believe this, it has become my reality. My daughter is also someone who practiced this without putting all the extra witchy part on it, but she would say, "Oh, I'm just out here living on vibes." And she didn't have a full-time job. She was in school full-time, and she did so much traveling during that time. She went to concerts that were not cheap. She was back and forth to California, to LA. Like, she was going, up in Flagstaff. Like, she was getting around for someone with no job, like no job. And she would say, "Yeah, I'm just on vibes," but she knew she was going to go to these events. This is what she wanted. And she believed there would be a way. And you don't have to be a practitioner of sorts. This is something we all have the ability to do. You just have to believe. And that sounds so simple. I know. That was hard for me. There was some work, a lot of work in between. I'll maybe talk about that concept of quantum leaping. I hear a lot of people talk about that. I want to talk about it in more simple, practical ways, as opposed to how some people kind of make it seem like do I need to get a math book to figure this out? Like, what? But just start to conceptualize some theories, and then add the woo-woo on top of it, and your intention, and go ahead. That's how you do it. Anyway, back to this book, because I took a heck of a tangent on that one. So the archetype section is really deep, and you can get a lot. There's something for every. All right, so let me get into some of the other ones that I really liked. Okay, so there's a bad day spell. What you'll need: running water, optional lavender essential oil. I agree with this one a lot. Running water. And I'm not gonna give this whole thing away, because I don't read so much everything in the book, but this is one of the things that you would be saying. The deity name, I give you this day. You say it 3 times. So let's say it's Hecate. Hecate, I give you this day. It's a process you're doing, or whoever you're working with. Or you can say ancestors if you prefer that. There's an Eye of the Storm meditation. I love that one. But here's my favorite: calm your ass down spell. Calm your ass down spell. I love this. So, a length of rope, string, or yarn at least 18 inches. So basically what you're doing, no preparation. You want to, if possible, so this is something I think I'm going to be adopting. Keeping that with you, in your bag or in your car or something like that. And you basically put, she's going to tell you, I think it was like 5 knots. Yeah. To spell out the word anger. And you're going to be saying these words. So tie the first knot and say, "Ah," is what I want to scream. Tie the second knot and say, now is not the time. The third knot, gain control of body, mind, and soul. Fourth knot, emotions don't own me. Tie the fifth and final knot and say, release, release, release my anger from me. She tells you can repeat, take the knots out, do it again. If you need to, take those knots out again, do it again. That's why you're only doing 5. Doing something with your hands, fidgeting like that, doing those knots, saying these words, eventually you're gonna calm down. That's just how a lot of us just work. For some of us, maybe the first, depending on how upset you are, but you might have to keep doing this. So she tells you that. Repeat each phrase you said when you've tied them. So yeah, just do it all over again each time. I like that a lot. I might change the phrasing, but I love the idea of just creating this knot and then taking the time to undo it in a state of anger, because I know how I am. Yeah, that would help. Because I need to be doing something physical. Understanding death ritual. She says, I was told once that death is only hard for the living. Yeah. As the dead are already in their process. This ritual is not for the person who died. This ritual is for you. In this ritual, you'll be journeying to meet Hel, the Scandinavian goddess who oversees the land of the dead, no relation to the Christian Hell. You will have the opportunity to ask her questions about the nature of death. Hel, for those of you unfamiliar, is one of Loki's children. She is described as having half of her body as vibrant and living, and the other half is blue as of a corpse, so blue. Her appearance and matter-of-fact nature can be alarming, but she should be more respected than feared. So you're going to need 1 light blue taper candle, like cold flesh black can be used as an alternative. 1 flesh-colored taper candle. I love that she says flesh-colored. So what color, whatever you deem as flesh color, right? Lighter matches, an offering of apple slices and honey with some set aside for your return. You're going for a ride. An offering of mead or wine with some set aside for your return. So to prepare for maximum potency, this ritual should be performed on the new moon. Think about the question you want to ask Hel before you perform this ritual. She is wise and powerful. It is good to be prepared. Now, it gets into it and, on what you want to do. And, it's a whole thing where you have to follow these routes to get to her. And then you go back the opposite way to get back, to your existence, your reality. If you didn't want to work with Hel, I would look up other deities that are associated with death that make sense to you. And I think that you can adapt this to your benefit if you don't want to work with a Scandinavian deity, if that just seems too foreign because it doesn't make sense to you, especially if you work in a specific pantheon and you want to stay in that. This can be adapted for that. And I think it might be really helpful. It's some really good spells in here. Rigorous honesty with self-spell. And meditation, by the way. Parting ways ritual. Basically, this would have been good for me at one point. So she talks about, well, let me read it and I'll tell you. But she was talking about basically the things you no longer need anymore, maybe along your way of your practice. But if you are someone who finds you have more than one calling or spiritual job in your lifetime, you can use this ritual to say goodbye to your previous task and move on to the next one. With this ritual, you will gracefully acknowledge your previous path and prepare for your shift. The keys to this ritual include honoring the lessons you've learned, leaving the old path without ill feelings, lighting a candle for your spot to be filled, mentally and physically pulling away, stepping into your new role. This could be adapted back to what I was talking about with quantum leaping. The tactics, the way I sort of went about things in my early part of my adult life, it was based a lot on survival. I was put in, I wouldn't say put, but I was a single mom at one point. Before then, I became a mom really young. I had my daughter at 22. That's very, very young, actually. I feel like I was still very much a baby myself. I still had so much more growing up to do. And I had to do it on my kids' watch, you know? So starting a family so early, getting married early, not understanding vetting, I didn't, you know, there were roles that I had to play and things that I had to do, and I didn't have a blueprint. I was just going off of well, vibes and hopefully good vibes, and hopefully I was doing it right. But that bred a lot of my ways of problem solving, my outlook, spirituality, all those things. A lot of it was based in a survival way. I think there's a lot of adults who are closer to my age who they never stopped. So they have this attitude, excuse me, when they're interacting with the world that, you know, ain't nobody, you hear people talk like this, like grown adults. They tell, excuse me, get some water. They tell you things like, negatively about nobody's going to do anything for you. Nothing's for free. A lot of that kind of talk. And it's like, I get things for free. I get people do things for me all the time. Good things happen to me. I had a happy accident where I'm about to get more than $100 worth of Fenty products. I ordered them. I didn't get them. I put in a claim. Then I got them, but I told Fenty about it and put in a claim with them as well. And then they sent me the replacement. So, and I was only delayed by hours. I still got it was a mix up, but I didn't know that. And it was already shipped and already handled. So I'm getting the additional products. I won on a scratcher card. All this happened in the last 72 hours. I won. My left hand was itching, so I was like, oh, that means money. I happened to be in a store and I saw the scratchers and I got one. And I won. I won 15. It was $10 and I won $15 on it. All kinds of really cool things. I found things that were incredibly marked down. I consider that a bonus. Yeah. Happy that, people are nice to you, and just, oh no, you go ahead in front of me. So time is valuable as well. People let me go in front of them. And yeah, I'm having all these types of experiences. So that's just not true that life is hard and, you got to work for everything you get. And nobody's going to let you get ahead of them. I mean, if that's your outlook, I guess that's what it'll be. But parting ways with that philosophy, with that idea, with that survivor mindset, and coming into a space of being healed. So that's a process now, but getting to that place, once you're there, I love the idea of doing a ritual to part ways. That was necessary. So we're not going to speak negatively about that self, that version of self, because I needed that to get through. But that's not my reality anymore. So I don't need to take that outlook, those worldviews anymore. So I would do a ritual to part ways with that. And it's also sort of setting a definitive or a very, a straight line down, okay, this is the new me. That was the old me. I'm not, they won't overlap ever again. I've done this ritual, so that's it. Personal aesthetic spell. I love this one. This involves bringing people over. It feels like one big makeover party, but anyway, yeah, personal aesthetic spell. I love that. This has some good stuff, y'all. It's definitely, in the beginning part, they have a moon spell, sun spell, so planetary energy spell. So there's a Jupiter spell, Pluto, Uranus. So own your earth spell. Own your fire, own your water. So elements, these are empowerment. This is in the empowerment section. Self-exploration. So this again is not so much about how can I get $500 type spell book. This is deeper than that. And there's something here for boundaries and wards. Yeah. Spell to keep intruders, excuse me, intruders out. Yeah, those incense are getting to me. Mm. Spells to keep intruders out. So that was in a protection section, creating a safe space. That was interesting to read about that, but it's a good one. This is something I think this is good. This is when you want to do the work a little bit more to improve and empower yourself, excuse me. Manifest your most magnificent self. This is when we're trying to elevate past, you know, this stuff. You know there's more. I think this is a great book to start with. And it's a good framework. You can make some changes. You can use different deities if you don't want to use the ones that she's mentioning, or just if you don't work with deities at all, I'll just say ancestors or just spirit or universe. So 111 magic. I'm glad I got it. Let's talk about this. The Grimoire Society. So I finally got this volume 9, this month's addition to this. So what I want to talk about with this one is I wasn't always good about reading, and this, y'all, is barely a few pages. I wasn't always good about reading this. So I want to tell you about my personal journey that I'm on. I was way too involved with things that were distracting me day to day. And I feel like I wasn't, and it's maybe it was okay for the time, but for now, like I've completely changed that. So I'm reading back at the pace I'm used to reading. I'm reading a lot more. I'm doing a lot more, honestly, a lot more things in my day, including 5,000 steps. But I'm getting stuff done. So like, as soon as I got this, I read it, and initially I felt a little shame about it because I would talk about this, but I never finished reading them. I did read them. I read them. So there's like this ongoing story, and it's actually really cute, and it's really good, and it's, I like it. That's in here. And 2, it actually has some cool information in here once I finally actually sat, and I've read this in minutes, read the whole thing from cover to cover. There's a great section in here about, are you a bad shuffler? So with tarot oracle cards, they say here, one question I see often is about jumper cards and cartomancy. So I'm someone who I have to ask myself in real time, wait, does this card is this jumping out, or am I just not doing very well with shuffling? So she talks about ineffective shuffling methods. Like, I don't have any cards right here, but you know how you do like this? You just you're holding the cards like this, and you just put them on top of each other. That's ineffective. Taking them and putting them in piles. Now, I do all those things, but the most effective way is when you take it, you take your thumbs and you splay them out. Then people say you make your cards, you kind of damage them up a little when you do that, because you kind of naturally are folding them, or unnaturally folding them, but that's the best way to shuffle the cards. And also just take them and spread them out and then put them back together again. That's another way, supposedly, per this article. What are you saying here? Hand over hand is probably my go-to shuffling method, right? Right. First of all, I do this. I'm talking to you. I'm listening to what you're saying, and I'm shuffling the cards like this, and then I separate them into 3. But I also, do the splayed thing, or whatever they call it. I do that too. But the shuffle, I thought that was actually really funny to look at that. I was like, oh, the ineffective and the most effective way. They're talking about the Practical Magic movie. Okay, here's something I did not know. Maybe y'all knew, I didn't know. She says here, now, pre-COVID 2020, HBO Max purchased the rights to the Rules of Magic. And that's one of the books in the Practical Magic series. But yeah, called The Rules of Magic, and began developing a pilot that would be a prequel to Practical Magic, featuring Aunt Frances and Aunt Jet as teenagers in New York in the 60s. While that project never got off the ground, HBO Max recently purchased the streaming rights to Practical Magic. This sequel, however, will feature the 4th book in the series, The Book of Magic. While I am weary of a sequel After the careless The Craft reboot, I have hope that having Kidman and Bullock in tow will force a thoughtful and meaningful sequel, excuse me. I hope so. I hope so. I didn't know that they were going to be making that other book, Rules of Magic, into like that was brand. And I'm like, wait, we missed out on that pre-COVID. What happened? I want to see that. I would love to see that. Um, they're talking about here Matt scrying as well, using a pendulum, kind of like Charmed, kind of like that. Um, but and you can use a map of your home. So like if you have like your home, you can draw one. So let's say you're looking for an item and it's in your house. You know it's in your house. You can use that to divine where it is in the house or scry. Of course, larger maps of a city and, something bigger. But think of this question. This is something that stood out in this one. And I'm probably not going to write in here, but I like the idea of it. It says here, if there was one spell that you could cast and have instant results with no consequence, what would the spell be? Ponder on why this is your choice compared to other instant gratifications. I think most of us would say money. A lot of people, some people might say money. I'm thinking some people would say youth, depending on who you are. Maybe you want to, I would see things like that. Oh, if you could, there was something you could stay thin, you always never, get overweight or something like that. Some people, that's a thing. A mental health spell, there you go. To be healthy, there's some people, I'd love to be healthy in all aspects, physical, mental, all that. It'd be really nice to be healthy. By the way, without any kind of side effects or consequences, I'm just healthy. I might, that'd be awesome, right? Since I read it, I was thinking about it. I was like, what do I want? It's very easy for me to want to go with the money thing because I just think like, oh, I would be able to help so many people with a large sum of money. However, where I'm at this point in my life, like money is great, but like I could be gone tomorrow. I want something with mortality. I think it would be the mortality thing. I want to tweak mine personally. And if I have the ability to tweak my loved ones and give them a choice, nothing where I make them do something. Basically, I think I'm talking about creating for real vampires. That's the spell that I want. I want big vampires that we don't have to necessarily drink blood per se. But there's some things. But yeah, I think that's mortality. That's what I want. And then we go into the story, The Case of the Missing Coven Member. And this is by Anna Rowan. This is part 9 of a 12-part series. And I'm just fully reading this for the first time. Y'all, there's no shame. I admit where I'm at. But I'm better because I'm doing the things now. Okay, so they give a recipe here. It's for alcoholic drink. Autumn in the Quarter. This is the alcoholic beverage. So listen to the ingredients. 1.5 ounce of rye for fertility. 0.75 ounces of coffee liqueur for energy. 0.75 ounces of actual coffee for clarity. Café du Monde for extra love. 0.5 ounces of absinthe for psychic connection. Shake all the ingredients with ice and strain into a cocktail glass. Envision a bountiful harvest season while you craft the cocktail. Garnish with a twist of orange peel for good fortune. I would be off my rocker because I've given up caffeine. Boy, oh boy, I would be. That little bit of coffee and that, yeah, I'd be a little, I'd be up and down all at the same time. Yeah. I tried an espresso martini not too long ago. I didn't love it. Okay. Horoscopes. So let me know if you want to read your horoscope in here. And it says here, ask the stars. Hooky, mystical, magical, and totally probably not super accurate, but maybe horoscopes. That's what they call them. So I'll read for my sun sign Aries. Be wary of what you're told this month. Aries, and do your best to avoid any big decisions. Spell work for clarity and the truth may be helpful. All right, give what's your sign? I'll be happy to read it. So that was for me, my sun sign. Let me know if you want me to read it and tell me your sign or a sign. You don't have to be yours. Libra, cool, cool. All right, so for Libra, things are good for you this month. Don't let bad habits get in the way of it. Meditation, focus, and groundedness may prove important for you this month. Capricorn, okay. Rules are just guidelines, Capricorn. At least that's how you're feeling this month. Run wild, be free, enjoy time with friends, but watch that tongue of yours. Now is the time to play, not communicate. You're welcome. And Ski also, so you heard the Aries then. Okay, cool. Yeah, so Capricorn was real direct. Watch that tongue, okay? Be mindful what you're saying. So yeah, and then there's like an advertisement on the back. This is $5 monthly. It's a little indulgence. It's cute. It's something, and I keep them all. Um, it's not a big deal, and it's like, it's cute. I love this. I love, if you were in a planner community, they will call it Happy Mail, and people with like stickers and all that sort of stuff. But like, this is like witchy Happy Mail for me. Whenever I get this, it makes me happy to see it. And it feels like, oh, I'm part of the Grimoire Society. It's so witchy and cool, and it's low stakes. It's not like something that's gonna, go too deep. But it's deep enough, right? It's fun. Okay, yeah, I can smell these incense. So let's get into these Five Below incense. So I saw this called Wild Spirit 70 sticks. It's blooming wisteria, that's sandalwood, lemongrass, burning rose, Persian rose plus musk, spring Aurorio. I don't know how to say that. Bergamot and jasmine, lotus blossom is lotus flower, brown sugar, wandering moss is patchouli and cedar, ocotillo bloom is tobacco and vanilla, and desert canyon is juniper and cardamom. I wonder if this is just here or if all y'all have this. But anyway, beautiful box. I'm gonna open. I hadn't opened it up yet. I just went there. I guess it was the day before yesterday. I don't know. I've been out and about. Oh my God, I went into TJ Maxx. It wasn't even for me. But then when I was there, I was looking for me. They had, and I got it. I didn't bring it in here because I'm already using it. They had a makeup brush holder set that is a pink skull, bedazzled hot pink skull head. And the makeup brushes have cute like diamond bedazzle on the handles. I don't know, I bought it. It was only $19.99. And it looks so cool and Halloweeny and girly and I had to have it. All right, so let's pull these out. They're potent. They are potent. So I'm gonna smell Desert Canyon first. This is juniper and cardamom. All right, that's enough smelling. I'm not gonna be able to make it through this. They're potent. I think once I burn them, I'll know. I want to burn the one with the tobacco and vanilla first. Let me find that one. I love sandalwood though. Dang, where is it? Here it is. This is the one I wanted to smell first. I was like, ooh, tobacco and vanilla. Those, it's like mask femme all together. Those scents. If I can get this open, there we go. Let's see. This I'll open. That's not what I thought it would smell like. I don't know what. No, that's not what I thought it would smell like at all. It's not bad. Oh, okay. I smell that tobacco-esque. I'm gonna light this one. I'm curious. Hold on, I'll light it. Oh, good. I have an incense holder nearby. So let's see. Okay. I think I might like this one. Bring in some vibes. Oh, did it go out? Oh, well, you get what you pay for, right? Look, I did like that and it went out immediately. Don't be cheap. Oh, I smell the tobacco. Let's take our time with it. I like it. All right. This is a good one. Let me put this on my incense holder. I like. I like. Okay. It smells tobacco-y. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to wait to get the vanilla more. It's like it's tobacco. And, oh, I can see this is some ancestor work. All right, moving on. I was curious. Let's get into this fun thing, shall we? So, fun fact: when I was in Five Below buying this, um, I wasn't by myself, but there was this woman with her. It was like during the day, so it wasn't a lot of people in the store. Um, there was a woman there. She had a little girl, and I think she saw this in my hand, and she was screaming her daughter's name. The little girl was standing right next to her. She's looking straight ahead, screaming her daughter's name, and she never turned around or looked down. There was a little kid to see that the little girl was sick because and the little girl's looking confused, like, why are you calling my name? I'm right here. She didn't say anything because she's standing right there, and she looked. She's like, oh, like she got freaked out when she saw me with this. I mean, am I really a witch if I'm not scaring people in Five Below? Like, man, it's not that serious. It's just, it's not. Stop. Okay. So, I was curious to know what this was made out of. So, it's like this particle board. So, it's actually pretty sturdy, right? This is the board. This is the surface. So, it's shiny, right? So, typical yes, no, goodbye. You want to see the planchette? This is the planchette. This is definitely plastic. But, oh, we could stand and clean the little glass part or plastic part. But anyway, let's see how this is pretty smooth. Oh, this will do. Now, for anybody that says, why are you using this? You're inviting in energy that you don't understand. That's a portal and you gotta get haunted or something crazy like that. Don't assume I already don't understand portal magic. Don't assume. Don't assume I haven't already worked with spirit boards or things like that, or I don't already own them. Don't assume I don't willingly work with the other side. Don't assume. Also, do not assume I'm not heavily protected. I have had horrible experiences or one significant experience of not understanding to protect myself with working with spirits, specifically in a group setting on someone's property that definitely had active spirits, it wasn't just myself, me and other people physically saw the manifestation of just appear in the mountains of Tennessee. Yes. And did I know anything enough about protection at the time to protect myself? Unfortunately not. Did I suffer many sleepless nights of feeling like someone's trying to kill me every time I closed my eyes to go to sleep and woke up with actual fingerprint marks on my neck? That also was me. So did I freak out my entire household, have to reach out to someone? And that's when I first started working with ancestors because they actually saved me. Also me. So yeah, I will never make that mistake again. I will never do that again. That went on for months. How it eventually resolved itself is coming into acknowledgement of ancestor reverence, which I had not done at that stage of my practice. I was practicing witch, but I was out of my depth. I didn't understand. I actually worked with a psychic medium, someone who that's their living. I worked with them and they told me what to do because I was like, I did sage. She was like, have you tried Palo Santo? I was like, no, I didn't even at that point. I knew, but I had never purchased. I didn't know. It was, I mean, that wasn't my forte. Hauntings at the time. It was terrifying. I scared the bejeebus out of the people in my home on most nights. Like I would lose my voice screaming because in real life, if you think someone's trying to kill you, you typically are not silent. I woke up fighting. At the time, my husband, he had marks on him from me fighting in my sleep. Him trying to say, "Hey, wake up," and I'm swinging because I will not be a victim. I didn't. You want? I'm never gonna be an easy victim. I will go out fighting ever, forever. Like that's just me. If whatever strength I got, I'm taking you with me. I will not be a willing victim. I'm a strong believer, by the way. If you back in the day, Oprah did a special when there was the Oprah show, and there was this crime detective or whatever, and he said something. Never let them take you to a second location. That is something I believe in. They, he was like a detective or something. He was like, when you're being attacked, don't let them take you to a second location because you're never getting out of it. I took that in a spirit, bro. I took that seriously. Don't let them take you. So I felt like I was being taken somewhere. So I'm fighting. This shadow figure was holding on to me, and it felt very like a very real man's grip on me. So yeah, I took pictures. I had like these red marks because at first I was like, my first of all, I didn't get a lot of sleep because I kept waking up in the middle of the night. So I was like, is my husband trying to kill me in my sleep? And I'm thinking it's a dream. No, I I'll share this with you. I told this story many times here, but I set up a camera because I thought I was losing my mind. And I need to know, is this, and I also read a lot of murder mysteries. So I was like, is he trying to kill me? And my brain is doing something else because I'm dead asleep. He was not trying to kill me. And also I would see me flailing in my sleep. Like that scared the crap out of me. Yeah, that went on for some time. So anyway, but I got some advice that I kind of did a little bit with. She didn't give me a lot. I started working with my ancestors and I resolved that. And actually I ended up moving out of state. I moved away and that broke it. But it wasn't just me. My son was starting to see, like he didn't think, oh, it's a thing. He was like, oh, why did you walk by or something like that? What did you want? I said, I've been downstairs. What are you talking about? Stuff like that was starting to happen. So it was not a happy spirit, by the way. Just, the spirit was out to kill me. I had done nothing. I think it attached itself to me and it was mad. It was angry. Yeah. So portal magic, all that sort of stuff. I'm solid now. I'm a cottage witch. The home is protected. I work typically nowadays more in creating a circle. So if, let's say you wanted to, go to Five Below and you wanted to buy something like this and you wanted to try, especially with Samhain approaching and the veil is thin. Honestly, anytime as we lead up, if this is not your forte, reaching out to the spirit realm, here's your opportunity. The veil is thinning, so you can, if you want to do some things, if you want to go beyond tarot or oracle cards or something like that, you could try it. This is a little flimsy because it's already lifting up a little bit, the stuff, but anyway, you can try, you can see. I'm not spooked easily about stuff like this. Also, if you're a witch who's worth her title of witch, you should know how to protect yourself. Just cast a sacred circle. You can wear a protective amulet if you prefer, something that keep some crystals or something like that that you find protective, that you place value in yourself. Maybe there's a certain statue you work with, your ancestors. You can, bring their photos and stuff like that in. Create safe words with your ancestors and stuff like that ahead of time. Speak it, let them know ahead of before you even start working with it. So I like identifiers, so you know who you're talking to. Um, the worst case scenario I've ever found working with anything like this is that nothing happens. That is the worst case scenario. In real life, without a board, it was a different situation for me. But I've honestly never, and I don't personally know anyone who has ever, and I know people who actually work with us. Not all the time, but they have. I have not met anyone who had any experiences negative that people always want to warn you about. Just saying. Just saying. All right, so I think that was, yeah, that was all the things. I wish I remember to bring the skull into you. Had the skull hit maybe up. Well, I'll be like I said, I already started using it. So I don't know. Dang it. Because it was so cute. I just got it too. TJ Maxx, check it out. Maybe Ross has it too. You know they're all linked in Marshalls. They might have it too. It is a big package too. A lot of packaging. And it's got the skull head and all the pretty, and there's one that comes in like a pastel color. It's really girly and spooky and cute. That's one of my other finds. I'm done shopping for Halloween. I'm not buying anything else. If I do, it'll be for outside, which I have not decorated yet because it's been too hot. It's finally breaking. The heat is finally not so intense here in Arizona. So I'm hoping by the end of this month, the beginning of October, I'll go ahead and put up Halloween decorations out front, or fall. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out too. But that's the only place I might get some last minute Halloween or fall decor. Other than that, I have plenty inside. I'm good. I feel like this room is a witch's room. I don't need to add any additional embellishments. I like the energy that's in here already. It's already witchy and spooky, probably to someone who would be scared. But yeah, so I won't have that. So in October, I'm working on just doing some themed videos. More about that this week. I'll get into it, but I'm working on doing like theme videos for the month of October, leading up to Halloween Samhain. With the kind of approach I took with Mabon, which by the way is the 22nd, so that's, I believe it's this weekend. Yeah, Sunday, right? Today's the 20th, 20, yeah, 22nd. Yeah, I'm like, am I saying this right? Yeah, 22nd. Um, so Mary Maybon. I'll have one more video because, it's a thing where it's not just a day. I mean, that sort of starts it, but you can celebrate it over the course of, some people celebrate from as early as the 20th to the 23rd. So, but yeah, I'll have one more video, grimoire video. I'm looking forward to doing that. And then, yeah, then I will be all things Halloween Samhain after that. I have such a problem with Halloween decorations. I go broke every year. I have amassed quite the collection, and I see that now. I have a lot going on out there. I have so much going on. And I start so early, I almost don't want to take it down. I cannot wrap my mind around taking everything down. And there's so many little pieces. Do I take that down and then do I put up stuff for like Yule? I don't want to. I'm thinking I just want to live in a permanent Halloween house. And then I thought about, well, what about a tree? Do you want to be one of those people who keeps a tree up and you just decorate it for like Halloween and all that? No, because when I see a tree in the middle of your house, I will always think Christmas tree. Yule tree. I never, even if you have all this other stuff on there, you can have the 4th of July stuff on there. I only see Christmas trees, so I know I would see that with me. I'm trying to figure this out. I do like a good Christmas decor haul, but every year I've been trying to get away from Merry Christmas and more into, Happy Holidays, Yule things specifically that speak to that and not so much the, Christmas, which is hard because almost everything says Christmas on it. But maybe, I don't know, maybe that'll be the challenge that I have I don't know. Maybe it'll be Nightmare Before Christmas style in my home. I don't know. I think maybe it's still going to look like a spooky Halloween Christmas. Because I don't want to take any of this Halloween stuff down. It's so fun. I love my bats flying across my kitchen cabinets into my dining room. In October, by the way, part of things, I'll be showing like my fun decor and all that sort of stuff inside my house here. If you didn't know, I also have another channel called Magical Lifestyle of a Cottage Witch, and if you're watching that channel, I've already shown some of the elements over there as well of my Halloween decor. But once I do the outside, then I'll do the whole thing. I'll share here too so you guys can see it and see all the just, I just wanted full Halloween. And here I wanted all the things. Um, so I'm thinking outside, like more of an autumn look versus spooky. Since I already have the full Halloween aesthetic inside my house, maybe I'll go full autumn. And I'm waiting to find out in my community, every year they've done a contest on your outside decorations. And I was like, do I want to participate this year? I don't know. I did one year and I made it up. Like I wasn't in the top 30 or anything, but I'm like, do I want to try, like, do I want to go all out? I don't know. I'm thinking about it. If I'm going to do it, I need to be going to the stores buying a bunch of stuff now. But they haven't sent anything in a newsletter yet. And I need to know, are we doing this thing? Because if we're doing it, I might do it up. I might like really do it up. Pumpkins, get some animatronic type stuff. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'm just thinking. I don't know. We'll see. All right. But yeah, next week I'll talk more about the month of October and all that sort of stuff. And the last time I was on live, we were talking about the books that I know I'm going to read ahead of time and do a witchy review. Like if you watched last week, I did talk that I was gonna go over this book. So now some of the books that I'm gonna get are not actually going to be available until October. So yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work, but I'll tell you about them. So next live, because that'll be more like, I'm trying to look at the calendar to make sure I know what I'm talking about. And that would be like the end of the month. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to make a thing to be like at the last of the month or something. I do like I'll tell you in advance the books I'm gonna go over, and it'll be like a secret book club but review. If you're interested in if it was something you might have wanted to read anyway, or you didn't know about it, you was like, wait, I want to read that, maybe you'll look at it and I'll tell you the order I'm gonna go over it, and for the month or something like that. Usually 3 books. So I'm not like, I like to leave room for a haul, or maybe I don't talk about it that month, that week or something like that. But I am done. So we've got we got a 5 below Ouija board. We got some incense that are taking me out, but the tobacco one smells actually good. Is it still burning? Oh yeah, it's still burning. It smells actually really good. I like this. I immediately thought ancestor work, so keep that in mind. And then we have the 111 Magic book. So yeah, not bad. That's a good book. I think it's something, I would say for the modern witch. Spells more for the modern witch with modern day issues that you're trying to address. So that's what that's for. So thank you all so much for watching and for interacting with me. I appreciate all of you. Don't forget to like this as well. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that join button if you want to support this channel and join Leap Taken membership. Thank you. You have a good weekend too. Check out my website also, leaptaken.com. And again, the join button gets you member only videos first off, where I'm usually performing, not usually, but I'm performing. Well, there's a couple things you're getting as perks. I do actual readings over there. That is not something I'm going to do here on this public page. But I do monthly readings, tarot oracle readings. I do live spells, rituals over there as well from the members. and additional videos as well. So they're member only videos. I wanted to make it special. Also, there's deep discounts at my website, leaptaken.com. So you're welcome. Thank you for watching. But you can also check out the website as well for the services that I offer if you weren't aware. And again, link is in the description. I have a second YouTube channel called Magical Lifestyle of a Cottage Witch. That's more vlog style, more me sharing more about my practice as a cottage witch. So thank y'all for watching. All right, bye.